Welcome everyone to another Thumb Culture video. Today we'll be having a look at the up and coming game Grid by Codemasters. We were very fortunate enough to be granted a preview key, so a big thank you to Codemasters for this opportunity, allowing us to show you guys a first look at the new Grid game. Not to be mistaken by the original, which went by the name of Race Driver Grid back in 2008, Grid is Codemasters' latest entry into the Grid franchise, where you'll be closer to the action than ever before. Trust me when I say you'll be racing wheel to wheel with the AI fighting for every position. This is the PC version that we're looking at, and of course that comes with all the settings you'd expect from a modern PC game, including advanced options allowing you to fine-tune your gaming experience based on your PC. The game supports controllers and wheels straight out the door, and I had no problem sitting down with my Xbox One controller and racing without having to change any settings. The same goes for my wheel. I was able to connect my Logitech G27 wheel, pedals and shifter without any issues, went through the calibration, and was back in the seat and off racing. As you'd expect from any Grid game, there are a range of disciplines to race in, including touring cars, stock, and GT, just to name a few. Now, while the game doesn't have a day and night cycle or dynamic weather, that I could see or experience anyway, there are settings for certain periods of the day. These include day, afternoon, day rain, overcast, sunset, sunset rain, dusk, night, and night rain. The game itself has great graphics, especially when racing in the rain. I personally prefer racing in the cockpit view and found myself fully immersed in the game. If you've ever played any Grid game before, then you'll feel right at home with how it feels and handles. If I was asked to class this as either an arcade game or a racing sim, then I would have to say it's definitely on the arcade side of things. That's not saying sim racers won't enjoy it. Turn off all the aids, crank up the difficulty and hook up your wheel, and you've got yourself a different experience, that's for sure. Make no mistake, this is no Project Cars or Assetto Corsa though. But what Grid does that's hard to find in many racing games is make every race exciting. You really do have to fight for every position, and you really do feel like you're in the race. Be that trying to get that overtake or seeing a battle take place in front of you. There's always something going on, and you'll be on the edge of your seat the entire race. And now we'll go into some raw footage, jumping through a few races I had, where you'll see and hear firsthand my experience in the game, Grid. So we are starting in 14th position. By default, this game does put you on medium difficulty.
Good luck.
So we may have to adjust that if we are doing too well and finding everything a little bit too easy. Gonna try and race as cleanly as possible. See if we can sneak around the outside. Yes, we can, because now we have the inside line. Lots of action going on. Going around the outside here. Yeah, finding this quite easy at the moment. So we'll definitely have to tweak the settings, which we shall do after this race. Little nudge there. On to the final bend. Can we pinch it from him? Can we get enough speed? Oh, very close second there. He was lucky. So obviously you can change the units from miles per hour to kilometers per hour. You can change the I like racing in first person view. So the interior cameras, you can change the field of view there. Let's crank this up to 90 and see how that looks. You can enable or disable the wheel and the arms, so you can disable everything. So if you don't like that and you find it distracting, you can turn it all off. You can just have the wheel only if you don't want to see the arms, or you can have everything enabled. Difficulty, so we have got your difficulty levels, goes all the way up to very hard. So we have very easy, easy, medium, hard, and very hard. So we're going to put that on. Leave that on medium. We're going to change the AI difficulty. Or we could customize it. Let's customize it. So damage levels at the moment are visual only. Let's put that on full. So if we mess up, it's our own fault. Terminal damage, sure, why not? AI difficulty, I'm going to put that on hard. Flashbacks, I hardly use, okay, I say I hardly use flashbacks. Flashbacks are a nice mechanic that they obviously introduced all the way back with the original grid. So if you do make a silly mistake, instead of the game penalizing you for that, you do have the option to reverse time basically and go back and stop that mistake from happening, shall we say. See if we can gain some positions here. People are covering their lines, also trying to gain position. Apparently Giuseppe is our nemesis. Not sure what we did to annoy him last round, but apparently he's not too happy with us. So yeah, pushing up on the D-pad.
Okay, I'll try to get them to attack.
Requests your teammate to attack.
Okay, push confirmed.
Pushing down asks them to defend.
Alright, I'll see if they can block any overtakes.
Pressing right.
Your rival is just one place ahead of you.
Requests information about your rival. Pushing,
Down in this position. Let's
pushing,
take some places.
thank you. Pushing left on the D-pad.
Teammate is near the back of the pack.
Requests information about your teammate. Pressing right twice.
Gap one ahead.
Apparently gives you information about time to the vehicle ahead or possibly behind. Pressing left twice.
No new damage to report.
Request information on your vehicle, if it's damaged or not, and the condition of it. Now I have to say, the visuals in this game are very nice. Performance is great. I'm not having any issues. The sounds are nice and, at the moment, because it's a muscle car, nice and throaty. Nice. There's a lot of bass going on there. But you can definitely tell this is a modern day grid game. Oh, clipped me there. Here we can see the flashback in action. See if we can avoid that this time round. Yep, there we go. So this is in fact my first time racing at night, and I have to say the lighting is very impressive. Squeezing on through there. Oh, a bit of collision with the barrier, but it's fine. That, however, was not fine. Let's see if we've got any damage.
No new damage to report.
Okay, good to know. That was completely my fault. I did not see the braking point. But they were kind about it. They didn't become a nemesis or anything, so all is forgiven. Tyres coming over the barrier there as another car slammed into the side. Oh, now we have a nemesis.
Don't get taken out.
Already, after just doing the tutorial and those few races, I'm definitely enjoying this game, even though it's not a sim game. I mean, I played Project Cars, I've played Formula 1 games, all the way back to Grand Prix on the Amiga. But I do love a good arcade-ish racing game as well. Like I said previously, I've played the grid games before, and this is no different. You can easily lose hours upon hours of your time thoroughly enjoying a good gritty race in this. Sticking to that racing line as much as possible. Have to go a bit wide there. Got a car on my left. See if I can outbrake him, keep on the inside. No, he's taking the position from me. Let's try and keep this nice and neat. Easily closing up on Alexander here, Alexander Werner. And he's a bit late on the brake in there, and we got past him nice and cleanly. And now 1 lap to go. That's slow coming out of there, but I couldn't take advantage of it. See if I can get the slipstream. Looks like I have. No. Yes. Diving up on the inside. Looks like we got it. Yeah. Alright, now can we hold on to it? That is the question. Definitely closing up on first place guy. But we don't have enough. Last bend. Keep it nice and clean as possible. Oh, maybe if we had another lap. But second place will have to do. Whew. Now that is what grid is all about. Close, tight fights across the grid, fighting your way up. Memorable race for sure. Ah, that was good fun. But yeah, that is what grid is all about. Having those memorable battles. It's tough to get that in other games. Granted, this is not to be a sim game. It is much more of an arcade feel, but you definitely can go into the settings and make things more difficult for yourself to make it more sim-like by taking off all the aids. Using a wheel will definitely help with that as well. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that race. So that was our first look at the new Grid game. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and are looking forward to the game's full release on the 11th of October. I can't wait to get back behind the wheel, and you never know, we might meet on the Grid. Until next time, this is Game on Scorpio at Thumb Culture, signing off.